Today's battle is between Neronga and Kumasogami. Yeah, okay. Now, Neronga is from the Ultraman series, while Kumasogami is from his own film series. Yeah. He was actually not in his own feature-length film. He was actually in another film called Orochi the Eight-Headed Dragon, where he appeared as a fucking demon. And that's sick. Yeah. Okay, let's get started. So Naranga is this giant badger horn looking motherfucker. I don't know how to describe him. Naranga is pretty much this giant brute of a monster. Fun fact, the suit was actually originally Baragon. Yeah, Baragon. Just such a Baragon, okay? Baragon. Baragon. So yeah, there's that, I guess. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. Kumasogami, on the other hand, what is a giant demon? It's a lava kaiju created by Toho Studios. And also, he's this giant demon who demands sacrifices from young women. What are you gonna do with them, huh? Anyways, yeah. Originally, this motherfucker is only like 16 feet tall. So we're gonna boost up his height, okay? Anyways, Naranga. Naranga is 147 feet tall and weighs around 40,000 tons. He's a pretty chunky boy. But what about Kumasogami? So we're gonna buff up his height, okay? So Kumasogami is 144 feet tall and weighs around 60,000 tons. So yeah, there. We buffed up his height. And weight too. Anyways, let's just get into their abilities. Neronga, he can burrow underground, he can absorb electricity, he has a despotic electric attack. He can shoot electricity from his horns. He can also turn invisible, but this takes away his electricity powers. Yeah. So he can tag team with King, which is another monster, Eoeking, King, which is another electric base monster. He can team up with that guy and do a thunder connection attack, but since King is not in this battle, we're not gonna do that. He also has a despotic electric ball. He can create 5 balls of energy and launch them at his opponents. When he uses it, his horns are flipped over. Yeah, okay. He also has a despotic attack rush, where surrounds himself with electricity and kamikazes himself towards his opponents. Oh yeah. Also, yeah, his attacks basically just run on electricity. Okay, how about Kumasogami? Kumasogami, the giant demon. He can morph his hands into explosive arrows, a bow, or a sword. A bow and arrow, a sword. He prefers to fire the arrows in a volley of 3 and seems to generate an unlimited amount of them. However, they're quite slow moving and he was unable to direct hit on any of his opponents. Likewise, he relies on his overwhelming strength to compensate for his lack of speed with a sword. He also has yeah, he's also, heat resistance. He also has intimidating wings too, which he can fly with, kind of. But he's still fucking heavy. He can't fucking fly. So it's kind of like chickens, Chickens can kind of fly, but their wings are just for show most of the time. You get what I mean? Yeah. It's pretty much. He can just make any weapons from his hands, and that's it. So yeah, how would they defeat each other? Well, yeah, I don't know what to freaking say. Okay, so Neronga wins by just shocking him to death most of the time, basically. Meanwhile, Kumasogami just has to spam his arrows and maybe stab him a little bit from time to time. Okay, this fight takes place in Venice. Let's fight. People are crowding over a bridge. They've been wondering why their electricity has been cut out. And then suddenly, the monster itself appears. Neronga, the fat chunky of a monster. He roars at everyone. Everyone's scared shitless. But then another water appears. Another guy appears. It starts getting hot in the water. Neronga is like literally like, what the hell? And then out of nowhere, Kumasogami appears from the water too, and then just bitch slaps Neronga. Neronga is pissed and starts biting his hand, but it gets burned. But then he just charges at him and just knocks him down, ignoring the burning effects. Yeah. Kumasogami chuckles to himself before forming a sword. So he uses it to slash a giant gash at Neronga. Neronga roars in pain, but then uses his electric ball and sends 5 electric balls to his chest and then to his actual balls. And then Kumasogami roars in pain, but then stabs him in the gut with his sword. Neronga roars in pain and then headbutts Kumasogami, and then does his electric attack and shoots a long beam of electricity at Kumasogami's face. And when Kumasogami sees it, he forms a shield, and that shield from his other hand absorbs it. Neronga is like nani. So both with a sword hand in one hand and a shield hand in the other, shit's about to get wild. Like a knight, Kumasogami charges and knocks Neronga down onto his ass and starts stabbing him. Neronga roars in pain, but then goes invisible. Neronga is disappeared. Kumasogami is looking around in confusion until he gets hit a couple of times. Kumasogami then does his intimidating wings, and one of the wings actually hit Neronga. Neronga's not the smartest of the monsters. Neronga hits the wing of Kumasogami. Kumasogami goes all out Ultra Instinct and slashes the back of Neronga. Neronga roars in pain and collects more energy. And then tail slaps Kumasogami, knocking him over. All the people are pretty much evacuated at this point. Kumasogami then forms a bow and arrow and shoots 3 of them. All of them miss except one, and one of them hits Neronga in the shoulder. Neronga's just taking all the hits. He's taking them all. He then does his attack rush. And then he forms himself into an electric energy ball. Kumasogami is not afraid. He then summons a trident from his hands and shield. No, and a flail in the other. A spiky flail. He turns around the flail and charges. And with a trident in one hand and the flail in the other, he charges. And Neronga charges too. And then the pig explosion. Water and flames are spewing everywhere. Dolphins are dying in the river and everything. People are dead. Smells of rotten flesh are being fled everywhere. And then the 2 monsters appear. Neronga seems to have won, but then whooshing, gets impaled by Kumasogami's sword. Neronga pukes out some blood before closing his eyes and then dying. In the hands of Kumasogami, literally. Kumasogami chuckles in victory before unsheathing his sword back into his normal hands and then walking away. Verdict. In a fight between Kumasogami and Neronga, Neronga is gonna lose. Neronga is a tough motherfucker, but I think Kumasogami's got this. For once, he's a giant demon who can form anything from his hands. Secondly, he can just form about anything. He can just form a gun if he wants to. Infinity Gauntlet, no problem. Done. But Neronga could win at particular times. It's not as much as Kumasogami winning, though. Anyways, who do you think would have won this fight? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.